चलो अभी लिंक बन गया है, ठीक है। चलो
हाँ सर,
आप लिंक बन गया, बस प्लीज आपको स्टॉप ना करना है, तो लिंक रुक जाएगा सर।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है। हाँ
Hello, friends. How are you all? Are you ready? Yes, sir. Now chartered. Yesterday we were into company final. Wonderful. Now, yesterday we were doing company final accounts, and yesterday we did one question. You remember this question? The beautiful question. This was the question, question number 7 from our textbook. And then we prepared a balance sheet and notes to accounts. Then we studied format of P&L. What was the format of P&L? Format of P&L में we studied raw material income. Mein there are two types of income: revenue from operation and other income. Second, we studied raw material consumed, purchase of stock in trade. Do not disclose stock, just disclose the change. Finance costs, depreciation and amortization, other expenses, profit before exceptional item and extraordinary item. Now, I told you that extraordinary item and exceptional item started we study in AS5, where we will study AS5. Correct? Now, thereafter, tax expense, current tax expense, and deferred tax expense. This also we will study in AS22. Then there was a drama, small drama. You remember that I told you opening stock minus closing stock, which you are doing, both are supposed to be at cost. For example, let's revise your foundation or 11th or 12th little. It is a amazing concept. Now, for example, suppose if I tell you opening stock is 10,000. Opening stock is 10,000. Okay, sir. Opening stock 10,000. Closing stock, I say it is 6,000, but its NRV is 5,000. Correct? You remember you used to prepare trading and profit and loss account? Do you remember by any chance? Sir, how can we forget that? That is a beautiful childhood. Exactly. Trading and profit and loss account we used to prepare. Correct? Now, if I tell you, let's prepare trading and this is your trading, this is your P&L, and this is your balance sheet. Correct? Okay, sir. So to small, yes. This is your trading. Trading. PL balance sheet. Now this opening stock of 10,000, this opening stock of 10,000, closing stock of 6,000, correct? NRV is net realizable value. Opening stock will come in which side of trading account? Sir, opening stock will come in debit side of trading account, yes or no? Opening stock will come in which side of trading account? Sir, opening stock will come in debit side of trading account. Wonderful. Debit side of trading account mein chartered, I will write to opening stock. Debit side of trading account mein chartered, I will write to opening stock, yes or no? Yes. How much? 10,000. Wonderful. Credit side of trading account mein how much will I write? So credit side of trading account mein cost or NRV whichever is lower. Yes, cost or NRV whichever is lower. So you will write by closing stock how much? 5,000. Yes, no. Yes, sir. Now P&L mein no, nothing will come as far as stock is concerned. P&L mein nothing will come as far as stock is concerned. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now chartered in balance sheet you will write stock. Yes. Balance sheet mein you will write stock. stock. How much, sir? 5,000. Correct. This is what we had learned in our foundation or in your 12th standard. Yes or no? Yes. Now tell me, what is the cost of closing stock? Sir, 6,000. What is the NRV of closing stock? Sir, 5,000. NRV of closing stock, what is the full form of NRV? Sir, NRV ka full form is net realizable value. Wonderful. Net realizable value. Very good. Now charted, what is the second word? NRV mein, the second word means net realizable value. Second word is, sir, realizable. Very good. Second word, again you say, sir, realizable. Realizable. It is realized or realizable? Sir, realizable. That means 5,000 you have realized, or if you sell, you will realize. Sir, 5,000 I have not realized. If I sell, I will realize. Correct. So 6,000 is the cost, 5,000 is realizable value. That means if I sell, I will realize 5. Yes. So 6,000 ka stock, if I will realize 5,000 charted, then 1,000 is loss. Yes or no? That 1,000 is a present actual loss charted, or if I sell, there will be a loss. If you sell, there will be a loss. Exactly. If I sell chartered, then there will be loss. Correct, incorrect? Correct. Now my question is 1,000 is your expected loss or actual loss? So expected loss. If 1,000 is your expected loss, then your account ka concept and tell me, if it is expected loss, don't you think you should create provision regarding it? Yes, sir. But chartered, you reduced your closing stock by 1,000. So your credit side of trading account has gone down by 1,000. If your trading account credit side goes down by 1,000 chartered, that means your gross profit goes down by 1,000. Are you understanding what I am saying? Yes, sir. If your closing stock decreases by 1,000, if your closing stock decreases by 1,000, that means your gross profit will also decrease by 1,000. If your gross profit decreases by 1,000, that means this decrease of 1,000 you have accounted as actual loss or estimated loss. Sir, actual loss. Exactly. But 1,000 you should have recorded as provision. Are you understanding what I am saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, fatapat tell. Stock is 6. If I sell, I will realize 5. So there is an expected loss of 1,000. Therefore, 1,000 should be recorded as provision. Yes or no? Yes, sir. But I have recorded stock only 5. That is correct, incorrect? Incorrect. So charted over here, I should have recorded 6. Over here, I should have recorded 6. And over here, I should have recorded provision for write-off in stock. Oh, provision for write-off in stock. That means balance sheet mein then you will get 6 less 1,000 outer column 5,000. Oh, are you understanding what I am saying? Is there the difference? Tell me, chartered. Is there any difference between provision for bad debt and bad debt? Sir, obviously there is a difference. Bad debt means loss has already happened. Provision for bad debt means expected loss. Wonderful. Bad debt means loss has already happened. Provision for bad debt means what? So provision for bad debt means expected loss. Exactly. Therefore, chartered, when you show P&L may, you show 2 PDD. Yes or no? Provision for doubtful debts. How much? 1,000. Balance sheet may you show debtors less provision for doubtful debts, outer column some amount. Am I clear? Yes or no? Can you directly write this amount? No. We have always learned that show the total figure and from there you subtract provision. We have always learned that show the total figure and from there you subtract the provision. Are you understanding? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Therefore, chartered, in case of stock also, 1000, that is cost minus NRV. Cost minus NRV chartered is not your actual loss, but estimated loss. Cost minus NRV is not your actual loss, but estimated loss. Estimated loss of how much? 1000. Therefore, you should create a provision for it. Oh, that means in trading account, whether it is opening stock or it is closing stock, tell me chartered at what value you will write. Sir, whether it is opening stock or closing stock, I will write both at cost. Exactly. And if NRV is lower, I will create a provision on PL debit side. Amazing. That means we are supposed, and this is nothing but exceptional item. And this is nothing but exceptional item. Oh, this is nothing but exceptional item. Acha. That means extraordinary item and exceptional items are those items which occur rarely. The frequencies of occurrence is rare and it can be non-operating also. Am I clear? Frequency of occurring is low and it is not related. It may not be related to our business. But this is related to business. I told two conditions. Any one it should be fulfilled. It should be non-recurring. Frequency of occurrence is less. It may be non-operating. Okay, sir. In detail, we'll study when we study accounting standard 5. Then things will be clear. Okay, sir. So now you understood. When I write over here, I will write opening stock minus closing stock how much? 10 minus 6. 4 I will write over here. Are you understanding? 10 minus 6, 4 I will write over here. And then exceptional item may I will write 1000. So ultimately I wrote how much? Ultimately I wrote 4 minus 1. 4 is your expense and 1 is also treated as an expense because you are subtracting from profit. Therefore, total you have accounted for how much? 5. Yes or no? 4 you have accounted as expense. 1 also you have accounted as expense. So total how much you have accounted for expense? 5. If you would have written 5 over here also, no chartered. Then also you would have written 10 minus 5, 5. I'm understanding what I'm saying. So there are two ways you can write. Opening minus closing 10 minus 5, 5. Or you can say opening minus closing 10 minus 6, 4, exceptional item 1. Now tell me which is correct. Entire 5 or 4 and 1? Sir, 4 and 1. Why? Because sir, 4 is your pure short expense and 1 is provision. Exactly. 4 is actual expense and 1 is provision. Understood. You cannot say entire 5 is my expense. Acha. Correcta, incorrecta? Correcta. No, 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 no. Now, check. One more important thing. Suppose you've heard of the word called adjusted purchase. Yes, no. Yes, sir. Now, check it. Understand this. Suppose if I tell you purchase is 10, purchase 50,000. Okay. Purchase 59, opening stock 50,000. Okay, sir. Understand this also. Very, very important. This will require when we are solving question. Opening stock 50,000. Okay, sir. Purchase is 1 lakh 50. Very good. Sales 2 lakhs. Closing stock 30,000. If I tell you that with this data, prepare a trial balance. With this data, prepare a trial balance. Okay, sir. How will you prepare? We can prepare trial balance. We generally prepare trial balance like this. Debit, credit. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, debit में trial balance में opening stock will come on which side? So, opening stock in trial balance will come on debit side. Very good. Where will purchases come? So, purchase will come in trial balance debit side. Very good. Where will sales come? Sales will come trial balance credit side. Very good. Acha charted. Why will purchase come on debit side of trial balance? Sir, purchase is an expense. Therefore, expense will come on debit side. Wonderful. Why will sales come on credit side? The sales will come on credit side because it is income. Superb. Why will opening stock come on debit side? Sir, opening stock is asset. Opening stock is asset. If opening stock was asset, no chartered, it would have been appearing in your balance sheet asset. Then, now listen very carefully. I purchased 5. Let's understand first a basic difference between expense and asset. Correct? Ekdam fundamental difference. Listen to me. Try to build a contact with my thought process and understand and tell me whether I am correct or incorrect. Suppose I purchase or make payment for anything. Why will I make payment? You will make payment because you will derive benefit. Correct? I'm not talking about charity and all that. I'm talking from business's perspective. In any way, from business's perspective, charity will also give you benefit. But normal circumstances, why do you make benefit payment? Sir, it will give you benefit. Benefit will either get exhausted in the current year or it will get carried forward to the next year. Yes or no? Yes. If any payment which gives you benefit and that benefit gets exhausted in the current year, then chartered it is treated as expense. Wonderful. And if the benefit gets carried forward to the next year chartered, then it is treated as an expense. Then it is treated as an asset. Once again, any benefit which gets exhausted in the current year, expense. Any benefit which gets carried forward to the next year, asset. Correct? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, chartered, is this clear? So I can tell you one simple example. If I buy a cold drink, soft drink, if I drink it, it is an expenditure. But if on the year end I keep it in my refrigerator, it is expense or asset? Why? Because benefit of that cold drink is yet to be derived. It will appear in my balance sheet as stock of soft drink. It will appear in my balance sheet as stock of soft drink. Is this clear? Yes, no, yes, sir. Now, chartered. This you have done. Suppose I purchase markers to write on the board. Marker. You remember olden days when we did not have all this iPad and laptop? We used to write on marker. With marker on the whiteboard? Yes. I purchased the markers? Yes. Some markers I used it in the current year? Yes. That is my expenditure? Yes. The marker which are unused is my asset because I will use it in the next year? Yes or no? Yes, sir. That markers used to appear in my balance sheet as stock of stationery? Yes or no? So if I purchase the stationery chartered, if I purchase stationery, that part of stationery which I have used in the current year, popularly known as consumed in the current year, is my expenditure and will be transferred to my PL debit. Are you, are you understanding? Yes or no? If I purchase some stationery, some part of the stationery, I have used it in the current year, which is popularly known as consumed in the current year, is my expenditure and transferred to P&L debit. Yes or no? Yes, sir. That part of stationery which I have not used in the current year is not consumed in the current year, benefit not derived in the current year, is my stock of stationery and that will come in balance sheet asset. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Similarly chartered, suppose I have purchased 5 markers. How many markers? 5. And my business is of markers. Understand carefully. My business is of markers. ठीक है sir. 5 markers, each marker 30 rupees. Total payment made charted. Tell me how much. The total payment made is 150. Wonderful. 5 markers, each marker 30 rupees. Total payment made 150. Out of these 5 markers, 3 markers are sold. 3 markers are sold. What is my business? Sir, marker का. My business is of marker. 5 markers I purchase. Each marker का price 30 rupees. Total payment made 150. Is 150 my expense? No. Then how much is my expense? We have to find out how much ka benefit we have derived in the current year. We have to find out how much ka benefit we have derived in the current year. Now, charter, tell me, why did I purchase marker? So you are a dealer of marker, no? So you have purchased this marker to sell them. So you will derive the benefit from the markers when you sell them. Wonderful. You will derive the benefit from the markers once you sell them. Yes. Out of 5, how many I sold? Sir, 3. So I've derived the benefit of how much? 3. So can I say 3 marker ka cost is how much? 90. So can I say my expenditure is 90 only? Yes. This expenditure of 90 should come in my PL account. Yes or no? Trading PL, whatever you call it. Yes, sir. So is 150 my total expenditure? No. Sir, my total expenditure, total payment is 150. Out of 150, benefit derived is of 3 markers. The cost of these 3 markers, 90 rupees is my expenditure. Wonderful. How many markers are unsold? Sir, 2 markers unsold. 2 markers unsold ka cost is how much? Sir, 30 into 2, 60 rupees. So is this 60 rupees my expense or asset? Sir, asset. Why? Because this 60 rupees chartered, is benefit derived or yet to be derived? Sir, benefit yet to be derived. If benefit yet to be derived, it is my asset, yes or no? Yes, sir. No. Matching. Are you ready? Yes. This chartered is my trading account. What it is? Trading account. Sure, sir. Trading account में your madam had told it in your childhood. Debit side में expense will come, credit side में income will come. Yes, yes. Ah, yes. Debit side में what will come? Expense. Credit side में what will come? Income. Now charted I wrote 2 purchases. How much did I purchase? Sir, 150. Now tell me, is entire 150 my expense? No. Sir, because 150 purchase means you have purchased 5 pens. But out of that you have sold only 3. That means cost of 3 pens is your expense. Wonderful. 2 pens which you have not sold is not your expense, that is your asset. Now tell me, but I have written over here how much? Sir, 150. But I should have written over here how much? Sir, 90 only. How much extra I have written? Sir, 60. That 60 rupees extra which I have written, so don't you think I should remove? Yes. That 60 rupees extra which I have written, no. This 60 rupees, I write it on the credit side. Ultimately, it will become 90. Yes, sir. This 60 rupees is known as closing stock. This 60 rupees is known as closing stock. Now you understood why you write closing stock on the credit side of a trading account? What is how much? 150. Is 150 your entire expenditure? No. How much is your expenditure? 90. But how much you have written? 150. How much extra you have written? 60. That 60 should be removed, yes or no? So that 60 should be either subtracted from the debit side or you can write it on the credit side, yes or no? Yes, sir. So popular belief was that we should write it on the credit side and that we call it closing stock. So closing stock is an asset or expenditure? Asset. Why? Because payment made in the current year, benefit will be derived in the next year. Sir, 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 that means closing stock is nothing like prepaid expenditure only. Exactly. But generally prepaid asset is intangible and generally closing stock is tangible. Generally. Generally, prepaid expenditure is intangible and generally closing stock is tangible. But both are payment made in the current year, benefit to be derived in the next year. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Samjha ke nahi? Yes, sir. Shall we move ahead? Yes, sir. Now, Tata, tell me once again, how much ka payment I made? Sir, 150. How much ka benefit I derived? Sir, 90. So expenditure is how much? 90. How much I have written? 150. How much extra I have written? 60. That 60 I removed it, wrote it on the credit side. Why? Because that is my asset. That's chartered. This 60, this 60, which is asset in the current year. Why? Because it is unsold in the current year. Yes. This 60 are representing two markers will be sold in the next year. Tell me yes or no. Yes, sir. If it will be sold in the next year, chartered, if it is sold in the next year this will become an expense. Yes. If next year this will become an expense, then next year the 60 should appear on which side? So debit side. This is closing stock of the current year. Yes. Current year mate is what? Asset. Next year it will be sold. Yes. Next year it will become expense. Yes. Next year, what will you call this opening stock? Next year, what will you call this closing stock as? Opening stock. So next year, this opening stock will come on the debit side. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. So opening stock comes on the debit side. Why? Because it is asset or expenditure? Expenditure. Understood? Yes or no? Yes, sir. I repeat once again. 150 ka purchase, 90 is expense, 60 is asset. That 60 represents two markers which I have not sold in the current year, but I will sell it in the next year. When I sell it in the next year, when I sell it in the next year it will become my expenditure because next year I would have derived the benefit. So next year expenditure, so next year it should come in trading account debit side. Current year may you call it closing stock, next year may you call it opening stock. So let me assume one thing. I know what you will assume. You will assume, sir, if this opening stock is not sold next year, no problem. Then this is not an expenditure. No. Then this will only become again closing stock. Oh, yes or no? Now tell me, chartered. Now tell me, chartered. Let's think practically. Theoretically, this is possible. Practically, do you think if I am not able to sell my opening stock only, why am I doing business? Okay. So now you understood. My question was, why does closing stock come on the credit side? Closing stock comes on the credit side because it is nothing but reduction from purchases. Opening stock comes on this side because it is nothing but expenditure. Benefit will be derived in the current year. So opening stock is not an asset but an expenditure. Now, so closing stock is how much over here in my example? In my example, chartered closing stock is 30,000. Yes. Now, from this figure, I am supposed to prepare trial balance. Now, tell me, sorry. So, this was the question, and this was the trial balance I was preparing. So, opening stock I wrote over here, purchase I wrote over here. Now, you must be feeling shit. Purchase is not an expenditure, but still entire we have written. Out of this 150, how much is expenditure? Sir, 1,20,000 is expenditure. How do you know 120 is expenditure? Sir, because out of this purchase of 150, 30 you have not sold. Okay. That means goods costing rupees 1,20,000 you have sold. That means out of this 150, 30 is unsold. So how much ka benefit I have derived? So out of 150, 30 ka benefit you have not derived. That means 150 minus 30, 120 ka benefit you have derived. 150 may say closing stock is how much? 30. That means 30 is benefit yet to be derived. 120 ka benefit is derived. So expenditure is how much? 150. And 30 is what? Asset. Now charted when I write 150 over here, I am writing 150 over here because I think it is an asset or I think it is an expenditure. So 120 is expense and 30 is asset. Wonderful. 120 is expenditure and 30 is asset. Where will expense come on trial balance? So debit side. Where will asset come in trial balance? Debit side. Can I say 150 includes both expenditure and asset and therefore it comes on the debit side of trial balance? Oh my God. I had never thought like this. You know, I had also never thought. Start loving accounts little, you will also start thinking little. Anyways, now tell me, chartered, where will closing stock come in trial? Closing stock, no, it will come in adjustment. Wonderful. Closing stock will come in adjustment. Adjustment mein it is given. Closing stock. How much? 30. But chartered, can you tell me why closing stock comes in adjustment? So it is there. It was always there in all the question. That closing stock is there in adjustment, and in final account, anything is there in adjustment will be posted twice. One is it will come in trading credit, and once it will come in balance sheet asset. Every adjustment, two posting, closing stock, trading credit, and balance sheet asset. Correct, incorrect. Correct, sir. Now relax and think. How much I have purchased? 150. Out of this 150, how much is unsold? 30. Can I say this 30 is already included in purchases? Yes, this 30 is already included in purchases. So if I write closing stock in the trial balance charted, if I write closing stock in the trial balance charted, then it will be accounted twice because it is already included in purchases. Acha, purchase out of this purchase of 150, 30 is unsold. So this purchase may how much is sold part, expenditure part? 120. How much is unsold part? Can I say this 30 is already included in this purchase? Yes. This 30 is unsold from where? Purchase only. So if I write closing stock in trial balance, then closing stock will be accounted twice. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now chartered. But I have decided I want to show closing stock in trial balance. But I have decided chartered that I want to show closing stock in trial balance. Then what shall I do? Sir, if you want to show closing stock in trial balance, then there is one very simple option. What is the simple option? Sir, subtract 30,000 from purchases. Exactly. Subtract 30,000 from purchase. I will show opening stock how much? 50. Purchase I will show how much? Sir, 120. And closing stock I will show how much? Sir, 30. And sales I will show how much? Sir, sales you will show 2 lakh. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. Now charted this purchase ko we call it adjusted purchase. This purchase ko we call it adjusted purchase. We have adjusted closing stock from this. So will you remember? Yes. Achha. Now charted another situation. Now charted, can I show like this? Some people show it like this. Adjusted purchase 1,70,000. Closing stock 30. Sales 2 lakhs. Sales 2 lakhs. Now my wonderful chartered accountant, brightest future of this country, tell me one thing. What is the difference you observed in second trial balance and third trial balance? The second trial balance mein opening stock is there. Third trial balance mein opening stock is not there. Achha. Very good. What if anybody tells you what is adjusted purchases? Then what will you say? Sir, purchase minus closing stock. Very good. Over here, if anybody asks you what is adjusted purchase? Purchase minus closing stock, but opening stock is also included in adjusted purchase. Exactly. So in third trial balance, what is adjusted purchase? Sir, purchase minus closing stock plus opening stock. Very good. Now chartered, if I tell you, if trial balance में adjusted purchase is given, if trial balance में adjusted purchase is given, then that adjusted purchases का formula is purchase minus closing stock or purchase minus closing stock plus opening stock. That depends. If trial balance में adjusted purchase is given and opening stock is also given, then adjusted purchase is equal to purchase minus closing stock. Very good. But in trial balance, adjusted purchase is given, but opening stock is not given. Then adjusted purchase is closing purchase minus closing stock plus opening stock. Yeah, are you understanding? Yes, sir. Simple it was. So if in trial balance, closing stock is appearing and and opening stock and opening stock is also appearing and opening stock is also appearing, then chartered, then chartered adjusted purchases is equal to purchase minus closing stock. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. But if closing stock is opening stock is not appearing, like in the third case, then adjusted purchase is equal to purchase minus closing stock plus opening stock. Am I clear? Achha. Let's recap. Padaf. Purchase was how much? Sir, purchase was 1,50,000. Closing stock is how much? 30. Why didn't you write closing stock in trial balance? Sir, because it is already included in purchase. So if I want to include closing stock in trial balance, I have to subtract it from purchase. Yes. I made purchase how much? 120. How did I get 120? Purchase minus closing stock and closing stock. So over here, what does adjusted purchase mean? So over here, adjusted purchases means over here, adjusted purchase means purchase minus closing stock. Very good. 1,20,000 is purchase minus closing stock, yes or no? 1,20,000 is purchase minus closing stock, yes. Plus opening stock, how much? 50. If I add these two, I will get this adjusted purchase 170. So this adjusted purchase 170 is what? So purchase minus closing stock plus opening stock. Very good. So this adjusted purchase ka formula is this. You understood? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now chartered. This formula you will remember that if in trial balance closing stock is appearing and opening stock is also appearing, then purchase is equal to adjusted purchase is equal to purchase minus closing stock. If trial balance में closing stock and opening stock both are not opening stock is not appearing, then adjusted purchase is equal to purchase minus closing stock plus opening stock. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes, sir. That's simple. Crux of the story. Entire story you told just to make us understand two things. If trial balance में closing stock, opening stock both are appearing, adjusted purchase is equal to purchase minus closing stock. Very good. Brilliant. Next. If trial balance में Closing stock is appearing, opening stock is not appearing. Then adjusted purchase is equal to purchase minus closing stock plus opening. Wonderful. So both these points you understood. Why should we consider at stock cost? Yes. Chalo, 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 chalo. Shall we move ahead? Yes. Now we will do one question. Question number 8. Question number 8. If you've got the book, very good. Otherwise, this PDF I will share, or for time being, take a photograph. Correct? Now, shall we move ahead? Yes. From the following balances, extracted from the books of, yes, Rosh. Question number 8. Classwork section. Yeah, yeah. Sir, we had never thought like this before. Now you think, that is only more than enough, pa? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Sure. The following balances are extracted from the books of Travels Limited as on 31st of March 2023. Travels Limited as on 31st of March 2023. Now, so, okay, what you are supposed to prepare? Last sentence is what? You are required to prepare statement of profit and loss as per Schedule 3. You are required to prepare statement of profit and loss as per Schedule 3. That means for the year ended, ignore previous year's figures. So we are supposed to prepare only P&L account. Balance sheet items will not come chart. Okay? Yes, sir. Now, 7% debentures 48 lakh. 7% is what chartered? Sir, 7% is interest. Tell me, chartered, will debentures come in balance sheet or PL? So debenture is a liability. This much you don't know. It will come in PL account. No, sir, it will come in balance sheet. Exactly. So debentures will come in PL? No. Where it will come? Balance sheet. Am I clear? Yes, sir. No, sir. But sir, interest on that will come. Yeah, interest will come. That will check later. Plant and machinery at cost. Cost. And what is the cost? 37, 43, 37, 43, 400. That is the cost of plant and machinery. That is the cost of plant and machinery. Correct? Trade receivables. So plant and machinery will come in PL? No. Trade receivable. So trade receivables means debtors, and debtors will come in balance sheet. It will not come in PL account. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Debenture interest. Oh my God. Debenture interest. They have already given how much? They have already given debenture interest of how much? 339, 150. Fatafat 37, 43, 400. 37, 43, 400 into 9, into 7 divided by 100. So interest 262,083. Oh my God. Let's check once again. 37, 43, 400 into 7 divided by 100. 262,038 should be the interest. But how much interest they have given? They have given an interest of how much? 339. Oh my God, what to do now? What to do now? So much interest. extra prepaid, that will check. Bank interest 13,260. Acha chartered. Tell me फटाफट. Acha chartered. Wait. Acha chartered. Tell me फटाफट. Land. That is also balance sheet. Debenture interest is what? That will come in PL as expense. PL, how many heads are there? Expense come. Raw material consumed. Then purchases of stock. Then raw material consumed. Then purchases of stock in trade. Then changes in inventory. Then employee benefits. Then finance cost. Then depreciation and amortization. And then other expenses. Tell me where will debenture interest come? So debenture interest will come as finance cost. Very good. Bank interest, debit side hai. If bank interest is on the debit side, it is income or expense? Tell me. Sir, it is income. No, sorry, it is the expense. It will come under the head finance cost. Yes, no, yes, sir. Sales is what? Sales is your prime revenue from operations. Correct? Transfer fees. Patapat tell me. Transfer fees. Yesterday I had explained you what is transfer fees. Ah, Roshan. Wonderful. Roshan says transfer fees is income. Why it is income? What is transfer fees? Correct, Vidya. Transfer fees is money charged by the company for transferring share from one shareholder to another shareholder. Correct. The share was on your name, you gifted it to me, the share will now become in my name. The shareholders may your name, say my name, company has to transfer, no? So company will charge some money for this. So it is expense for us, income for company. So this will come as other income. Acha, Tata, tell me, is transfer fee still applicable now? No, this is in olden days, before demat. Other income. Discount received, other income. Purchases, can you see any raw material or not? No. So this will become purchases of SIT. SIT means stock and trade. Inventories, this is opening stock. Factory expenses. Factory expenses will come where? Sir, it will come in PL. No, sir, it will come in trading. Hey, Gyani Pandit. Factory expenses, we are not preparing trading. We are preparing only statement of PLs. Where it will come? It will come as other expenses. The factory, if it is factory is there, then they should have manufacturing, no sir. Then they should have purchase of raw material, no. But over here, basically factory means workshop. That means assembling of goods and or packing of goods, nothing else. Rent, rates, taxes and insurance. It will come under the head expenses chartered. Correct. Repairs. Repairs will also come under the head other expense. Sundry expense. Other expense. Then chartered selling expense is again other expense. Then director fees. This is also other expense. Yeah. All this we learned yesterday only. Admin, selling, distribution, preliminary, director fees, director remuneration, PDD, all is other expense. Correct. Interest on investment for the year. This is other income. 22, 23. That is our current year only. Provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation chartered will be subtracted from cost of the asset. Correct. So it is not in depreciation. Miscellaneous receipts. That will come as other income if it comes. Then depends on the adjustment. Correct. Closing inventory on 31st of March 2023 is 476,850. Acha. No problem. Miscellaneous receipt. Yeah. Miscellaneous receipts represents cash receipt from sale of plant on 1/4/2022. That means at the beginning of the year, chartered at the beginning of the year, you sold what? Plant and machinery. For how much? The cost of plant and machinery was 165,750. Ting, 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 ting. And accumulated depreciation was how much? 24,685. Acha, accumulated depreciation 24,865. Correct, incorrect, correct. Now, chartered, tell me, this plant was sold. Acha. Miscellaneous receipt represents cash received. That means it is not other income. It is not other income. It represents sale of what? Plant and machinery. This is the selling price of plant and machinery. Huh? Chartered, don't you think there's an error? So what is the error? I'll tell you. Write down. Adjustment number 2. Write down. Now, tell me what was the cost of assets? Cost of plant and machinery. Cost of plant and machinery is 165,750. What is accumulated depreciation on that? Sir, accumulated depreciation on that is how much? Accumulated depreciation on that is 24,865. 24,8. You want to take the pick of the question? Yeah, you can take. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Accumulated depreciation is how much? 24,865. Can you see? Yeah. 24,865 chartered is the accumulated depreciation. So 165,750 is what? Sir, 165,750 is cost. 165,750 ka asset chartered on that accumulated depreciation is how much? 24,865. If 24,865 is the accumulated depreciation, then what is the book value? What is the book value? Book value is equal to 148,885. And what is the selling price chartered? Sir, from where we will get selling price? Selling price is given over here. Miscellaneous receipts represents cash receipts. How much cash is received? 142,800. Therefore, chartered 142,800 is my selling price. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now chartered 142,800 is your selling price, correct? And book value is how much? 148,885. What do you think? You made a profit or loss? Sir, profit. How much profit you made? How much profit you made? Profit ka symbol is pi. Profit ka symbol is pi. How much profit you made? 1915. Correct? Yes. Now chartered. Then what should be the correct entry? What should be the correct entry for sale? What should be the correct journal entry for selling this asset? So correct journal entry should be cash account debit. Very good. How much? Sir, 142,800. Very good. Then you are supposed to debit accumulated depreciation. Why I should debit? Because we have sold the asset. If you have sold the asset, then its accumulated depreciation should also be eliminated, yes or no? You remember long ago, there is a concept called Sati Pratha, where when husband used to die, wife also used to sit on the pyre and she also used to die, yes or no? So whenever husband will go, behind, wife will also go, and that was known as Sati Pratha. Yes. Over here, same thing, we follow Sati Pratha. Whenever asset will go, its accumulated depreciation will also go. Because if I don't have asset, what will I do with accumulated depreciation? Will I play Manjira in temple? Yes or no? So whenever asset will go, along with that, its accumulated depreciation will also go. Accumulated depreciation has a credit balance. Accumulated depreciation has a credit balance. So when it will go, it should be debited. Correct. So PL should be credited to PNL. To PNL 1915 should be credited. To plant and machinery, how much? 165. 750. Cash account debit 142,800. Accumulated depreciation 24,865. To PNL 1915. To plant and machinery 165,750. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So this should have been my correct entry. But I have passed one wrong entry. What is the wrong entry I have passed? I have passed the wrong entry as cash to miscellaneous receipts. Cash to miscellaneous receipts. How much? 142,800. Sir, how do you know you have passed this entry? Because my wonderful chartered accountants, it is given in the question. It is given in the question that 142,800, it is given in the question that 142,800 represents cash price receipt from sale of asset. Accountant passed this entry. Now tell me, chartered accountant, what shall be the correct journal entry? You know the wrong entry, you know the correct entry. Now tell me what shall be the correct journal, rectified entry. The rectified entry is very simple. Tell me. Rectified entry में the cash is correctly recorded, no problem. Miscellaneous expense is wrongly credited, तो you debited. अच्छा. Rectified entry में you debit miscellaneous receipts. You understood? Cash में no problem. Cash in cash there is no problem. Because cash should be debited, it has been debited. But miscellaneous receipts should not have been credited. To nullify, I debited is yes or no. And all these entries and all these points are not posted only. Accumulated depreciation, profit and plant and machinery is not posted only. Accumulated depreciation, profit and loss and plant and machinery is not posted only. Now, chartered, let's post it. Sir, let's post it. How will you post? Miscellaneous receipts, accumulated debtion, miscellaneous receipts, accumulated debtion. Accumulated debtion is how much? 24,865 to P&L account. Tell me fatapat, P&L is how much? 1915. P&L is how much? 1915. Correct? To PM. To plant and machinery, how much? To plant and machinery, how much? 165,750. Correct, incorrect? 165,750. 165,750. Are you understanding? Yeah, yes, sir. All this is simple. They are understanding everything. Now tell me, miscellaneous receipts is in trial balance which side? So miscellaneous receipts is in trial balance credit side. Oh my God, and over here it is debited. So where it will go? Nowhere. Where it will go? Nowhere. It will get nullified. So this miscellaneous receipts, basically no posting. Ignore. Correct? Because over here it is credit, over here it is debit, it got nullified. Accumulated depreciation. Now charted accumulated depreciation as a debit balance, credit balance, and accumulated depreciation as a credit balance. Over here it is what? Debited. Over here it is what? Debited. So accumulated depreciation as a credit balance, over here it is debited. Therefore, what shall we do? The credit balance over here it is debited. Therefore, you subtract from the debit balance. Exactly. So that means this you will subtract less. accumulated debtion. Less from accumulated debtion. Where will PL go? Where will PL go? PL is a profit. It will go in other income. Profit on sale of plant and machinery. Where it will go? Other income. Now chartered plant and machinery is credited. Plant and machinery is credited. If plant and machinery is credited, tell me chartered where will it go? Plant and machinery is credited. It will go. The plant and machinery is an asset. Asset when credited, it will reduce. Plant and machinery is an asset. Asset when credited, it will reduce. So what will I do? Less from plant and machinery. So accumulated depreciation may there is a less, there is plant and machinery may less. Correct? Thereafter adjustment 1 over 2 over. Land is revalued at 1 crore 8,63,000. And land is appearing over here at how much? 9737. So from 9737, land is increasing to 10863. Now chartered 10. Now chartered land is how much? Land is increased to how much? 10863. Tick tick tick. Very good. How much? 11,26,000. Still let me check. Minus 9737. Tick tick tick. 11,26,000. So chartered will pass an entry. What entry we will pass? Adjustment number 3. Adjustment number 3. Tining, 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 tining. We pass the entry. If land gets upward revalued, that means land is increasing, yes or no? Yes. If land is increasing, you will debit or credit? Debit. Why? Because land is an asset. Asset increase, debit. How much you will debit? Sir, 11 lakh 26,000. Correct. Now tell me if asset is increasing, you are happy or sad? Happy. Happy means profit or loss? Profit. Profit should be debited or credited? Credited. Credited to PL account? No. Because this profit you have realized, or when you sell, you will realize. So this is revaluation profit that we have not realized. Exactly. This is revaluation profit. We have not realized. If you have not realized chartered, don't you think this is against conservatism principle? Yes. And hence we transfer this profit to revaluation reserve. Revaluation reserve. 11 lakh 26. Correct? Then depreciation is to be provided at the rate of 10% at 10% on plant and machinery. Now chartered depreciation we are supposed to provide 10%. Adjustment number 4. Of depreciation. Amount of depreciation on plant and machinery. Amount of depreciation on plant and machinery. What is the value of plant and machinery? Plant and machinery is 37,43,400 is equal to 10% of 37,43,400 minus you have sold the asset worth how much? 165,750. Thirty-seven, 43,400 minus 165,750. It will become 10% of 35 lakh 77,650. Of that, 10% is equal to 3,57,765. And tell me, so why did you subtract 165,750? Because chartered, hey, the country's brightest future. This is the total cost of plant and machinery, and this is the cost of plant and machinery which is sold. So the asset which is sold that I have subtracted. And if you look at this adjustment also, over here we decided 165,750 less from plant and machinery. Correct, उसका 10%. What will be the journal entry for this? Journal entry for this depreciation. What is the journal entry for depreciation? So depreciation to plant and machinery. Ayyo Rama. Depreciation to plant and machinery is the entry will be passed if there is no provision for depreciation. In this question, provision for depreciation is there or not there? So there, if provision for depreciation is there charted, then what will be the journal entry for depreciation? If provision for depreciation is there chartered, then what will be the journal entry for depreciation? What will be the entry for depreciation? So in this case, entry for depreciation will be depreciation to provision for depreciation. In this case, the entry for depreciation will be depreciation to accumulated depreciation or provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation. What is the difference between accumulated depreciation and provision for depreciation? No difference. Both are same. Only name is difference. Correct? This was adjustment number 4. 5. Make a provision of 2.25% on tax. That I will do it later. The board of directors declared a dividend of 10%. Ignore. Why dividend is ignored? Because that dividend is declared after the year end. And that also not we have written. Financial statement. Dividend declared or proposed by the company. Dividend declared or proposed by the company. Please ignore such adjustment since this is after year end and after approval of financial statement by the board of directors. So dividend is declared after the year end. So obviously this will not impact current year ka financial statement. Oh, it will not impact current year ka financial statement because dividend is declared and paid after year end. So if it is before year end, that is not possible. So ignore. Correct? Yes. Now chartered, we will prepare statement of P&L. Correct? Statement of P&L. Statement of P&L में I will pass the format. First, we'll prepare the format. Statement of PL for year ended 31st of March 2023. 31st of March 2023. Particulars. First is what? First item in SPL is sir, revenue from operation. Revenue from operation. Now, chartered revenue from operation is there? Yes. How much? Yes, sir, that is not one. Then other income. Other income is there. Other income is there, no? Other income, other income, other income, other income is there. So if we add these two, we will get what? We will get chartered A. Correct? Then chartered expenses. Expenses. Now, expenses, my first expense, what do we have? Raw material. Raw material consumed. Do we have? No. Then chartered purchase of stock in trade. What is purchase of stock in trade? That is given 28, 86, 600. 28, 86, 600. Then purchase of, then changes in inventory. Changes in inventory. This is done. Then charted after changes in inventory. Employee benefits. Now charted, do you have employee benefits? Employee benefits not there. Then do you have finance cost? Yes, finance cost is interest. Interest, we have debenture interest, no? Correct? Yes. Thereafter chartered. So we leave this space. Then depreciation and amortization. That we have, yes. Why depreciation and amortization? Depreciation and amortization just now we calculated, no? Then we calculated amount of depreciation, adjustment number 4. Then chartered, we have got other expenses. Now chartered, this is all total of expenses will give you what? Namma Bengaluru. Correct? Yes. This is my statement of P&L and now I will prepare notes. Two accounts. There's so much we're supposed to do in exam. Otherwise, why will he give you marks? And if he don't give you, if he does not give you marks, how will you pass? And if you don't pass, how will you earn through CA? So what do you think? If you cannot become CA, you will not earn. Definitely you will earn. Majority people is not a chartered accountant, but you had taken a decision, no? That you will make money by becoming a chartered accountant. Correcta, incorrecta? Correct. Now, chartered. Note number. Particulars. Shall we start? Yes. The first note will be what? First note, we have written revenue from operations. Revenue, revenue from operation. Revenue from operation. In that we'll write what? Sales. In that we'll write sales. Now chartered, tell me how much is the sales? Sales. Era. 47,22,600. That is the sales. Correct? 47, 22, 600. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. So this is your sales. And in that, what is the total? 47, 22, 600. 47, 22, 600. Now, next is other income. Number other income. Income में what do you have? Other income में chartered we have first is transfer fees, discount received. Excuse me. Transfer fees, discount received. Then interest received, and then profit on sale of plant. Correct. So we will start with transfer fees. Transfer fees. How much is transfer fees? Transfer fees. Transfer of shares from one shareholder to another shareholder attracts a fees by him and it is received by the company. So for company it is an expenditure. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So chartered transfer fees may how much we will write? 250. Correcta, incorrecta? Correcta. Thereafter, discount received. Discount received. And Swami, where is discount received? 66,300. Then chartered. Interest income. Interest income is how much? Interest income is 55,000. So where it is? Year. Na, 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 ni. Na, 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 ni. Na, 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 no. Interest income. After that, profit. Pi is a symbol of profit. Profit on sale of plant and machinery. How much? 1915. 915. PL. Can you see? Yeah. Ding dong. So this is our total. Thank you. 161. 465. 161, 465. You should have become a singer only. And instead of torturing us, you should have tortured public. Yeah, yeah. Then public would have hit me. You cannot hit over here at least. Other income 161, 465. Other income 161, 465. The income cut total is 4722,600 plus 161, 465. 161, 465. So that will become 48 lakhs 84,065. Correct. Then chartered raw material consumed is not there. Changes in inventory. That is note number 3. Changes in inventory. Now chartered changes in inventory means what? So changes in inventory means opening stock minus closing stock and both should be at cost. Opening stock minus closing stock and both should be at cost. Very good. Now opening stock is how much? Opening. Na, 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 na. Opening stock minus closing stock. Opening stock is how much? Opening stock is for 497, 250, and closing stock is 476, 850. That gives you what? 352, 410. 352, 410. That will come in PL 352, 410. Then employee benefits is not there, finance cost. Now chartered, what is finance cost? Debenture interest. Now chartered debenture interest is given as finance cost 339, 150. So now debenture 3743, 400 into 7 percentage. And they have paid is plus 339, 150. 339, 150. So you will think 77,112 is extra interest they have paid, but we don't know how much debentures are redeemed also. No? So we'll not apply it because they have told nothing. If it was less, we would have done outstanding. But if it is paid extra chartered and they have not given any information, that means we'll assume that there were some debentures whose interest is paid, but they are redeemed. There are some debentures whose interest is paid, but they are redeemed. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Oh, 339, 150, 13, 260. 339, 150 and 13, 260. Am I clear? Yes, sir. So, debenture interest. Debenture interest is 339, 150, and bank interest bank interest 13, 260. Correct. So what is the total finance cost? Total finance cost is 3. Thank you. 357, 357, 765. 357, 765, 350, 765. Depreciation and amortization. Number 5, note number 5. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Depreciation. Chartered. A chartered. Depreciation. Amortization. Such a big word, it's difficult to fit. I will write short form. An exam can be right. No, no, you cannot write. All this privilege are with this white beard man only. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Depreciation and amortization, man. Depreciation on plant and machinery. Depreciation on plant and machinery we calculated as how much? 357, 765. Depreciation to provision. 357, 765. Total is wrong. Total is 352, 410. Change is wrong. Yo. Change is how much? 20,000. Other income is correct or incorrect? This is correct, sir. Depreciation on plant and machinery 357, 765. This total I can do it myself. I don't require your help. 357, 765. Correct, correct, correct. 350. Changes in inventory, what will I write? 20,400. And then employee benefits is nothing. And then finance cost is 352,410. And depreciation and amortization is 357,765. Number 6, other expenses. Other expenses में chartered first is what? Other expenses, so many are there, you know. Here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are there. Factory rates, repairs, sundry, selling, directors' fees. All are here. Shall we add them? Yeah. What other option you have, sir? So you but keep writing and keep adding. Factory. Sir, you're enjoying? I am enjoying very much. What about you? Factory expenses 258, 060. So many cities I have got. Bangalore, Chennai, Hubli, Coimbatore, Bombay, Indore, Raipur, Delhi, and online also. But online like this, first time. I am really enjoying rates and taxes. Rates and taxes. 65,025. Then repair 149,685. Then sundry expenses. How much? 127,500. Then chartered. Selling expense 26,520. Then director's fees 38,250. Call 665,040. 665,040. Correct. So all your notes are here. Must. All your notes done. Yes. No. Yes, sir. Are you understanding? Yes or no? Yes. Now chartered 665. Twenty-two, 86, 600. Correct? Plus 20,400 plus 352,410. 352,410 plus 357, 765 plus 665,040. 36, 82, 215. 22, 86, 600, 20,400, 352, 410, 357, 765, and 665. 48, 84, 065. Tax 12 lakh 01 850. Now chartered there is tax. How much? 25%. 0.25. Tax expense 300,463. 12,0188. Profit after tax is how much chartered? Hey buddy, what's up? What is profit after tax? 9,01387. Correct? Yes or no? Yes, sir. So 48,065 minus 36,82,215 into 0.75. 901,386. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. So we are done with this question chartered. Anything else is left? Adjustment 1 done, 2 done, 3. 3 will not impact PL, so I left it. 4 I have done, 5th I have done, 6th I have ignored, and there we are. The entire sum is done chartered. I am sure this is a PL account. How is it looking? Beautiful. Thank you so much. So don't you think we shall meet after break now? Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, charters. Hey, chartered. Tell now, how are you? I'm good, sir. Now we shall do one more question. Full final accounts. Why do we do this chapter first? Because this balance sheet is required almost entire syllabus. In entire syllabus, we require this balance sheet. Therefore, we do this chapter first. And then we start with AS. Correct. Now, chartered, we will do one more full question. This is question number 1. Correct. Okay, sir. Question number 1, chartered. Question number 1, chartered. Question number 1, chartered. When you get this PDF, you will get along with the questions also. Correct. Now, shall we start? Are you ready? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, following the trial balance of Subhash Limited, this came recently in exam also. How many months? 14 months. Full. Yes, full. The following is the trial balance of Subhash Limited as on 31st of March 2023. The year ending is 31st of March 2023. Correct? Yes. Land at cost. Figures are in thousands. So this is land is 1,10,000, plant and machinery, debtors, capital WIP. So this land at cost, and this is trial balance, and what you are supposed to prepare. You are supposed to prepare profit and loss account, that is statement, and the balance sheet as on that date, as per the provisions of Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. That means, chartered, we are supposed to prepare PL account also and balance sheet also. Am I clear? Yes, no. Yes, sir. Now tell me, so PL and balance sheet both you are supposed to prepare. Land at cost. Land is how much? So this will come where? So this will come in balance sheet as PPE. This will come in balance sheet as PPE. What? You can take a pic. Pic. Photo. Correct? Yes. Now chartered. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Now, land at cost, PP, plant and machinery. That will go also as PP. Debtors are nothing but chartered trade receivables. Trade receivables, capital WIP is under again PP. PPE, we have got 4 items. But that PP, intangibles, capital work in progress, and intangibles under development. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, my wonderful chartered accountants, are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes. How many items are there in PPE? 4 items chartered. Which 4 items? PPE, intangible, capital work in progress. Capital work in progress means building under construction. Building under construction. Bank. Bank will go in balance sheet as what? Cash and cash equivalent. Bank will go in balance sheet as what? Cash and cash equivalent. Purchases. There is raw material, no raw material. So this will go in PL as purchases of stock in trade, factory expenses. Tell me. No, 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 no. So this will go in other expense. Other expense. Admin expense. Other expense. Selling expense. Other expense. Opening stock will go in changes in inventory. Interim dividend paid will go in P&L. Interim dividend paid will go in P&L. Equity share capital Sir, interim dividend will go in P&L. P&L in reserves and surplus. I'll show you. Balance sheet, reserves and surplus. Opening balance at current year's profit less interim dividend paid. In reserves and surplus, show PL account as under opening balance, add current year's profit, less interim dividend paid, less transfer to reserve, less fictitious asset written off. That will give you closing balance. Am I clear? Yes, sir. Now, my wonderful chartered account. This will go in P&L. 10% debenture. Interest is 10%. So 10% interest in debentures. Where will debentures go? Sir, debentures will go in balance sheet liability. Balance sheet liability में under non-current liability. Under non-current liability, which head? Under non-current liability, sir, long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowing. Long-term borrowings. 10% means interest on this is how much? 10 rupees. But did we see interest 10 rupees? No. So remember chartered, there is outstanding interest of 10 rupees. There is outstanding interest of 10 rupees. Outstanding interest. Outstanding interest. Interest to outstanding interest. How much? 10, 10. This interest is the finance cost, yes or no? Sir, how do you know it is outstanding? Because see in trial balance, do we have any interest expense? Do we have any interest expense? No. That means chartered we have not paid debenture interest, yes or no? That means chartered we have not paid debenture interest. So 10% debenture interest on it is how much? 10, yes or no? That 10 rupees interest is paid or not paid? Not paid. It is an expenditure which is not paid. Therefore, can we say this is outstanding expenditure? Yes, sir. The journal entry will become interest to outstanding interest. Where will this interest come? Sir, interest will come in finance cost. Very good. Interest will come in finance cost. Very good. Outstanding interest 10 rupees. Yes, Manasi, it will come in other current liability. Other current liability. General reserve, reserves and surplus, PL account, reserves and surplus. This is opening balance of PL. Opening balance of PL means profit which we have earned till last year. Profit which we have earned till last year. 1 minute. Net charted. Laptop का charger is missing. 1 minute. So PL account is opening balance. This is the balance of profit which we have earned till last year. This is the opening balance of PL. Security premium, reserves and surplus. Security premium, reserves and surplus. Sales is revenue from operation. Sales is revenue from operation. Creditors is trade payables. Creditors is trade payables. Yes or no? Yes. Provision for depreciation. What we will do with provision for depreciation? Sir, provision for depreciation will be subtracted from asset. Now we've got two assets, land and plant and machine. So from which asset this will get subtracted? That is attention. Are Nalaya, this depreciation cannot be on land. So this depreciation is on PPE, that is plant and machinery. Correct, incorrect? Correct, sir. Suspense account. The balance sheet did not tell you, so they put suspense account. What we will do with suspense account, we have to check. Understood? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, Adjustment number 1. During the year, company issued bonus shares to the shareholders on 1:3 basis. Now charted, what is bonus shares? Now charted, what is bonus shares? Bonus shares are free shares issued by the company to its existing shareholders. Yes or no? Yes. Bonus are issued out of reserve. They are free shares. So if you are giving bonus out of reserves chartered, you will convert reserves into share capital. Yes or no? Yes. That means reserves will decrease chartered. Yes. Share capital will increase chartered. Yes. Bonus should be given from first from capital redemption reserve, what you studied in foundation. Second from security premium. If security premium is not there, then capital reserve. If capital reserve is not there, then divisible profits. And divisible profits means GRRDP. You remember? GRRDP. GRRDP. Yeah. Oh. So see, bonus issue should be given out of reserves and surplus. So your reserves say you will transfer money to share capital. Am I clear? Share capital will increase, reserves will decrease. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Achha, which reserves to give first? CRR. Second, security premium. Third, capital reserve. Fourth, divisible profits. Am I clear? Yes, sir. Now charted, we are giving bonus in the ratio 1:3. 1:3 means for every 3 share, we'll give 1 bonus share. For every 3 share, we'll give 1 bonus share. What is the total equity share capital? 150. If 150 is the total equity share capital, if 150 charted is the total equity share capital, then on 3, 1, therefore on 150, bonus share will become 1/3 into 150. That means 50 rupees ka bonus shares. 50 means 50,000, correct? Your reserves will decrease. Your share capital will increase. So what shall be the journal entry? Sir, if reserves will decrease, debit reserves. And if share capital will increase, credit share capital. Wonderful. Now tell me which reserves will decrease? Sir, security premium. So security premium should be debited. And what will be credited? Sir, you will credit share capital. Very good. So journal entry will become security premium to equity share capital 50 50 to share capital 50. But chartered in share premium we have got only 20. Oh my god. In share premium we have got only 20. So first we use CRR. CRR is not there. Second we use security premium. Security premium only 20 is there. Then we'll use capital reserve. Capital reserve is not there. Then we will use divisible profit. Divisible profits means general reserve. Do we have 30 rupees in general reserve? Yes, general reserve we have got 65 and we want to use only 30. So can we use from general reserve? Yes, sir. So general reserve account debit 30. So security premium say we took 20 rupees, general reserve say we took 30 rupees. So we got 50 rupees and that 50 rupees ka bonus we gave by increasing equity share capital. Yes or no? So again I tell you, when you give bonus shares are free shares given by the company to its existing shareholders. From where do you give bonus shares? Share. From where do you give bonus share? Reserves and surplus. Correct. You give bonus shares from reserves and surplus. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Now, chartered, if you are giving bonus shares from reserves and surplus, that means reserves and surplus will decrease and share capital will increase. Acha, sir. This much we understood. Reserves may first will use CRR, that is not there. Then security premium. We want 50 rupees ka bonus share, but we have got only 20 rupees in security premium. So extra 30 we are taking from general reserve. First, CRR. Very good. Second, security premium. Amazing. Third is CR, capital reserve. That is not there. Fourth is divisible profits. Divisible profits means GRRDP. General reserve, reserve fund, revenue reserve, dividend equalization, and P&L account. Am Right here. So your security premium will reduce by 10, 20. Your general reserve will reduce by 30 and your capital will increase by 50. So what I wrote over here, plus 50, general reserve में minus 30, security premium में minus 20. Yeah, understood. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. So adjustment number one is done. During the year, company issued bonus shares to the shareholder on 1:3 basis. No entry relating to this has been made. So we made it. The authorized capital of the company is 25,000 equity shares of 20 rupees. Authorized capital of the company is 25,000 equity shares of 10 rupees. This is just a disclosure in share capital ka notes. You remember share capital ka notes? Yes or no? Share capital. Authorized share capital you are supposed to disclose. Authorized share capital का disclosure metric. हम share capital notes we had written. Okay, sir. Oh, sir. Everything is there in the notes. Yes, everything is there in the notes. Adjustment 3. Company on advice of independent valuer wish to revalue land at 1,80,000. Oh my God. That means they want to revalue land. Adjustment number Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Adjustment number Chennai. So land and building, it is given in trial balance at how much? 1,10,000. They want to make it how much? 1,80,000. 1,10,000 say land will become 1,80,000 chartered. So tell me, land is increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Increasing by how much? So from 110 to 180, that means land is increasing by 180 minus 110, 70,000. If land is increasing, you will debit or credit? Debit. If land is increasing, you are happy or sad? Sir, happy. Happy means profit or loss? Profit. Profit should be debited or credited? Credited. Credited to PL account? No, no, that will be against conservatism. So we'll credit it to revaluation. The journal entry will become land to revaluation reserve 70. So land will increase by 70. So beside land, I wrote plus 70. Beside land, I wrote plus 70. And revaluation reserve I wrote separately. Revaluation reserve, that will come in reserves and surplus. And that will be how much? 70. Declared dividend. That is ignored. After providing tax at the rate of 40%. That we'll see later. Suspense account of rupees 2,000 represents cash received for sale of some of the machinery on 1/4/22. The cost of machine was how much? 5,000 and accumulated depreciation thereon being how much? 4,000. Now my wonderful chartered account. Suspense account of rupees 2,000 represents cash received for sale of some machinery on 1/4/2022. The cost of the machine was 5,000, accumulated depreciation 4,000. So suspense account represents cash received on sale of machinery. So you sold the machinery for how much? Sir, 2,000. You sold the machinery for how much? Sir, 2,000. But what was the cost of the machinery? Sir, 5,000. Cost of machinery is how much? 5,000. Accumulated depreciation on there is, sir, 4,000. 5,000 ka machine. 4,000 accumulated depreciation. So you are left with how much? 5 ka asset, 4 depreciated, so you are left with 1. 1,000 ka asset you sold it for how much? Sir, 2,000. 1,000 ka asset chartered you sold it for 2,000. That means there is a profit or loss? Profit. Profit of how much? 1,000. Correct. So this adjustment we did it in previous question yesterday also. Yes. Now chartered. Write down adjustment number E. Adjustment number E. Now Cost of plant and machinery sold is how much? 5,000. Accumulated depreciation on that is how much? Provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation on that is how much? Sir, 4,000. 5,000 ka asset, 4,000 ka depreciation. Asset is of 5,000, depreciation is of 4,000. That means book value of the asset is how much? Book value or written down value, whatever you want, you can call it. How much? 1,000. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Book value is 1,000. Now chartered. Selling price is how much? 2,000. Selling price is how much? 2,000. So, my wonderful chartered accountants, what is the profit? The profit is 1,000. Profit is 1,000. Correct. Now, what shall be the correct entry? What shall be the correct entry? Sir, correct entry cash account debit. Very good. How much? So 2,000. Two only be right. Why? Because figures are in thousand. Let us write only two because why? The figures are in thousand. Then you will debit provision for depreciation. Why will you debit provision for depreciation? Sir, last time only you explained, no, Sati Pratha. Whenever asset will go along with that, its provision should also go. Whenever asset will go along with that, its provision should also go. Then, sir, credit plant and machinery. Why? Sir, plant and machinery is sold, plant and machinery is gone, plant and machinery is sold, plant and machinery is gone, plant and machinery is gone. Decrease. Asset decrease, credit. Profit should be credited to PL. How much? So this is the correct entry. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Now, my wonderful chartered accountants, tell me what is the wrong entry they have passed. Wrong entry means they have told suspense of rupees 2,000 represents cash received for sale. That means this 2,000 represents what? Cash received on sale. So they chartered, the accountant of the company, you are a chartered accountant. Accountant of the company passed the entry cash to suspense. Accountant of the company passed the entry cash to suspense. How much? 2,000. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Are you understanding? Yes. Now, what will be the rectified entry? Cash is correctly debited, no problem. Suspense is wrongly credited. Suspense is wrongly credited. Therefore, to rectify, debit suspense. Suspense is wrongly credited. Therefore, to rectify, debit suspense. Wonderful. Suspense. Oh, suspense 2. Then chartered. This is not posted only. No. So let's write all provision for depreciation they did not account. 1. To plant and machinery 5. To PL 1. So suspense chartered in the trial balance, suspense is on the credit side. In the trial balance, suspense is on the credit side. Over here, what did you do? Debit it. So it will get nullified. Suspense is there in the trial balance on which side? Credit side. Over here, you debited it. So it got nullified. Provision for depreciation is debited. Provision for depreciation is debited. If provision for depreciation, 4 rupees. Okay. Provision for depreciation is 4 rupees. Provision for depreciation is debited with 4 rupees. Provision for depreciation is the credit balance. If you debit, it will decrease. So we'll subtract 4 rupees from provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation minus 4. So 86 minus 4, it will become 82. Anyways. Plant and machinery credit. So plant and machinery say we will subtract 5. Plant and machinery say we will subtract 5. Correct? Yes, no. Yes, sir. PL will go as profit in other income. Profit will go in other income. So let me write it in trial balance only. I will not forget. Profit on sale of plant and machinery, other income. How much? 1,000. So adjustment number Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, England, done. Faridabad. Depreciation is to be provided on plant and machinery at the rate of 10% on cost. On cost means chartered, we are following straight line basis. On cost chartered, it means we are following straight line basis. Achha. What is the value of plant and machinery? 385. Out of that 385, how much you sold? Sir, out of that 385, 5 we sold. So how much you are left? Sir, out of 385, 5 is sold. So we are left with 380. Super. On that 380, how much depreciation you are supposed to charge? Sir, 10%. 10% depreciation on 380 will come to how much? Sir, 10% depreciation on 380 will come to 38. Very good. Adjustment number F. Adjustment number F charted. Adjustment number F. In that, let's say what? Amount of deption on plant and machinery. Amount of depreciation on plant and machinery is equal to 10% of 385 minus 5. Why did I subtract 5? It is sold. So 385 minus 5, 380. 380 ka 10% is how much? 38. What will be the journal entry for depreciation? So depreciation to asset. Sorry. I know you know it. Depreciation to provision for depreciation. Yes or no? Yes. Whenever there is provision for depreciation, you will pass depreciation to asset or depreciation to provision. So depreciation to provision. The entry will become depreciation to provision for depreciation. Depreciation to provision for depreciation. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. So chartered depreciation of minus 2 plus 38 is equal to how much? 86 minus 4 is how much? 82. 82 plus 38 is how much? 120. 82, 86 minus 4 plus 38. 120. Correct? Correct. Correct. Now, so that is also done, and this is closing stock. Closing stock will come in. Closing stock will come in. Now, depreciation also, let me write it here. Depreciation on plant and machinery, which will go in PL under the head depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization. How much? 38. So basically now we are supposed to remember only two adjustments. One is authorized capital, one is closing stock. Rest all adjustments we have done. Correct, incorrect, correct. Notes, notes to accounts. First we'll prepare format of balance sheet. Subhash and Subhash Limited. balance sheet on 31st March 23 as on 31st of March. Sir, first we'll prepare balance sheet ka format, first we'll prepare PL ka format. First is balance sheet, then is PL. When we do sole proprietor, it is trading PL and then balance sheet. But in Schedule 3, it is first balance sheet and then PL. Am I clear? Schedule 3, Division 1, Part 1 is balance sheet. Part 2 is PL. And you will always see Note 1 is share capital. That means we start with balance sheet. If you want, you can check reality wala drum also. Balance sheet. Balance sheet का font. Now chartered balance sheet में first, right? Yes. Correct. And all figures are in thousand. Correct. Then we'll write equity and liability. Equity and liability. Now started equity and liability. Equity and liability में first we'll write number one. Number one is what? Shareholders fund. Shareholders fund. Now chartered shareholders fund में we'll have first A, share capital. Share capital. Now chartered share capital will be note 1. B. Reserves and surplus. Note 2. Number 3, share warrant not there. Next is share application money received pending allotment. That is also not there. Then chartered we have got 2. Non-current liability. Non-current liability. In non-current liability it is BTOP. These long-term borrowings. Do we have long-term borrowings? Yes. What is that long-term borrowings? Sir, debentures. Exactly. Long-term borrowings is debentures. We'll write A long things. Note 3. T is what? No, D. BDOP. Remember when we studied liability, no format, it is BDOP, BTOP. Remember short forms? Yes, yes. First lecture में we had studied all this. Very good. Intelligent. D is deferred tax. It is there? No. Other current liability? No. Provisions? No. Long-term provisions? Not there. So nothing is there charted. We leave it. Then we go to current liability. Current liability में BTOP. BTOP में B is short-term borrowing. Short-term borrowing means bank OD and any loan which is less than 1 year. It is not there. Trade payables. Trade payable is creditors. Creditors is there. Trade payable is creditors. Creditors is there. Trade payables. You can check creditors is there. Trade. Then chartered B. Other current liabilities you have? Yes, other current liabilities maybe you have got outstanding debenture interest. Yes, yes, outstanding debenture interest. So other liability. Correct. Then short-term provision. Do you have short-term provision? Yes, sir. Provision for tax you are supposed to create. No, wonderful. You're a champion. Provision, provision, provision for tax. Provision, provision for tax. So with that we come to end of liability. Correct? Yes, no, yes, sir. Then chartered will come to assets. Yes, sir. Assets में number one, non-current asset. Non-current asset में A, PPE, intangible. PPE and intangibles. In that PPE and intangibles, we have got PPE. Correct? Intangible asset, no intangible, no trademark, goodwill, brand name, copyright, nothing was there. Capital work in progress was there. Capital work in progress. Let me write that directly. How much it is? 43. 43. Correct? Yes. Then intangibles under development. Intangible is only not there. So non-current assets. Then it is PIDLO. PIDLO. P is PP over I is investment. No investment only in trial balance. You can check. No investment. Then chartered deferred tax. Not there. Loans and advances. We have given loan. No. Other non-current asset. That is long-term deposits. No. Nothing is there. So directly we'll go to current assets. Current assets में chartered we have A. A is short-term investment, current investment. Then there is no investment only. You can check. No investment of the asset side. Now chartered B is A, then inventory. That is there. After ITCLO. I is investment done. Inventory over. Trade receivables is there. Trade receivables. So trade receivables is there. Yes, chartered trade receivables is there. Where it is? Debtors. Yes or no? Yes, sir. After trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent. That is also there. Cash and cash equivalent. Correct. So where it is? Here. Bank 10. So we cannot directly write no. If there is one item you can avoid, but preferably you write. Prepare note. If you don't, I will prepare notes. So you can in exam, if there is only one item, you can escape note and write directly. No problem. D. IITCLO. Loans and advances. We have not given loan. Other current assets. That is prepaid expense. That is also not there. Am I clear? Assets are also over. As balance sheet, we have got SPL. Statement of P&L. Statement of P&L chartered. Statement of P&L. E. Rulers. Oh, amount. First is what? Revenue from operations. Not one. No, not 11. First, obviously, we'll have other income. Other income we have. Yes, other income we have. No profit. Other income, profit on sale. Hmm. No 12. Income. So this is your total income. Then charted comes expense. Expense may raw material consumed. Mhm. After raw material consumed, you've got purchases of stock and trade. Stock and trade. That we can write directly. And how much? 160. 160. Correct. Then you've got changes in inventory. 13. Correct. Then you've got employee benefits. Salaries, wages, anything you have? No employee benefits. A chartered, no employee benefits. Then finance cost. Debenture interest is there, no? Yes. Then depreciation, amortization. Depreciation and amortization, 15. Then other expenses. Loads of other expenses are there. Correct. 16. That will give you profit before tax. Less tax expense. Less tax expense. Then you will get profit after tax. Then you will get profit after tax. Am I clear? Yes, sir. So charted, this is your balance sheet and P&L ka format we have prepared, and we came to know that 16 notes we are supposed to prepare. Am I clear? Yes. Shall we start? Yes. Now, we will start with notes to accounts. Notes. Notes में we'll write note particulars and amount. And amount. Correct. Note number 1 is what? Note number 1 is share capital. Note number 1 is what? Share capital. Now, chartered share capital mein what do we have? Share capital mein first we should write authorized capital. Very good. Authorized share capital. Authorized share capital. Authorized share capital mein chartered it is given over here. Adjustment number Bengaluru. Authorized share capital of the company is 25,000 shares of rupees 10 each. So 25,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. That comes to 2,50,000, but we are writing figures in thousand. 2,50,000. We are writing figures in thousand. So 30 will go. We will write only 250. Now, chartered, tell me, is authorized capital a part of share capital? No, no. In your 12th standard, your madam would have taught. Draw double line and close authorized capital. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Then chartered issued paid up capital. Issued, subscribed, and paid up capital. Now, chartered issued, subscribed, and paid up capital. Now, understand. This is base 150 is nothing but 1,50,000. Yes, sir. 150 is nothing but 1,50,000. Correct? Yes. Each share is of how much? Sir, 10 rupees. Each share is of how much? 10 rupees. So 1,50,000 divided by 10 is how much? 15,000 shares of 10 rupees, yes or no? 15,000 shares of 10 rupees, yes or no? Yes, sir. On this 15,000 shares chartered, we gave one third bonus share. We gave one third bonus share over here. Correct? Yes, sir. So on 15,000, one third bonus share is 5,000 shares. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Therefore, now 15,000 plus 5,000, it has become how much? So now it has become 20,000 shares. Very good. So we will write over here 20,000 equity shares of rupees 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Are you understanding? Yes or no? Yes, sir. That comes to how much? 2 lakh. 2 lakh means we'll write 200. Now, chartered, are we missing anything? What do you think? Are we missing anything? What do you think? Yes, sir. We are supposed to write below this. Wonderful, Rajesh. We are supposed to write below this. What we are supposed to write? Out of the above, 5,000 are bonus shares. You remember non-cash shares? Shares issued for non-cash consideration and shares issued as bonus shares should be disclosed. We'll write over here out of above 5,000 shares. Correct? Yes, sir. Total. Less 200. Correct? Yes. Number two, reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus. Now charted reserves and surplus. Mein first reserve we have is what? We have got general reserve, we have got PL account, we have got security premium. Three reserves we have. Yes or no? Yes, sir. But the first reserve is what chartered? The first reserve is general reserve. First reserve is general reserve. General first reserve is general reserve. How much? 65. Out of the 65, 30 rupees we had used for bonus, if you remember. 30 we have used for bonus. Yes or no? Yes, sir. We had passed the journal entry also. 30 we have used for bonus shares chartered. So bonus. How much? 30. So we are left with how much? 60, 35. We are left with how much? 35. Then what do we have? So then we have security premium. Then we have got security premium. How much security premium? 20. And this entire was used for bonus issue. This entire was used for bonus issue. So we are left with nothing. Oh my God. Full 20 is gone. Correct? Yes. Then we have got new reserve. Revaluation reserve 70 rupees. Addition. Revaluation reserve. How much? 70. Then chartered we have got PL. We have got PL account. Now chartered PL का opening balance. PL का opening balance is how much chartered? PL का opening balance we need to find out from how much? PL का opening balance is 36,000. PL का opening balance is 36,000. To that 36,000 we'll add current year's profit after tax. Current year profit after tax, I don't know. I have to wait. So no problem. I will wait. So now I will get a total figure. Current year tax के बाद I will get a total figure. From that I will pay interim dividend. Interim dividend. Sir, where is interim dividend? Are Gyani. Interim dividend, we had seen it in trial balance only. Interim dividend, 9 rupees. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So interim dividend, 9 rupees chartered will pay. Then whatever is the balance that will come outside, and then we'll add, and then we'll get total reserves and surplus. So can we write total and reserves and surplus in the balance sheet? No, we cannot write total reserves and surplus in the balance sheet until and unless PLA is prepared. We cannot write total reserves and surplus in the balance sheet until and unless P&L is prepared. Am I clear? Yes. After that, note 3 is what? Long-term borrowings. Note 3 is long-term borrowings. Note 3. Term borrowings. Long-term borrowings, mein what do we have? We have got 10% debenture. 10% debenture, how much? 100 rupees. 10% debenture, how much? 100 rupees. Here it is. Correct? Yes, sir. After how much? 100. After that, number 4. Number 4 is trade payables. All notes are over here. If you want, you can take a pic so you can refer which notes will sequentially prepare. Click, or you would have written. You should have written logically. But by chance, trade payables. Trade payable means sundry creditors. Trade payables means sundry creditors. Trade payables. Creditors, how much? 26. 26. 26. Number 5 is what? Number 5 is what? Other current liability. Then provision for tax. Other current liability. Other current liability. Other current liability में what do we have? Outstanding debenture interest. Other current liability में what do we have? Outstanding debenture interest. Chartered outstanding debenture interest. How much? 10 rupees. We had written the journal entry also. Interest to outstanding interest. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, my wonderful chartered accountants. Then, now that is 10 rupees. After other current liability, we have got number 6. Short term provision. Short term provision. Short term provision में we have got provision for tax. Short term provision में provision for tax. But that for that we have to wait. Provision for tax. Correct. Now, thereafter, number 7. Note number 7. PPE. Now, charted very carefully, see this PPE. PPE may we had first is land. How much? 110. Revaluation surplus. We revalued it by 70 rupees. So it became how much? 180. We revalued it by 70 rupees. Hey, suno na. Listen now. See, we revalued it by 70 rupees. Correct? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Then we have got plant and machinery. Plant and machines how much? 385. Sold how much? 5. So chartered, we are left with how much? 380 of original cost. Then we have got provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation was how much? 86 minus 4 plus 38. 86. 86. Did you see? 86 minus 4 plus 38. Yes or no? Yes, sir. 86. Then depreciation on sold. You will remove that is how much? 4. Then depreciation on left 38. That you will add. When you add that chartered, that will become how much? No, that will become how much? B. B. How much? 120. 120. So A minus B. A minus B is how much? 260. This is your plant and machinery, yes or no? Yes, sir. So after you add plant and machinery and land, you will get 440. After you Land and plant and machinery. If you add my wonderful chartered accountants, what will you get? 440. Correcta, incorrecta? Correcta. 440. That's a long-term borrowings, 100. In trade payables, 26. Outstanding debenture interest, 26. 10. Provision for tax, you have to wait. PPE, 440 we got. 43. Correct, yes. Now inventory. Number 8. Stock of finished goods. Stock of finished goods. Tell me, chartered stock of finished goods is how much? 30. Yeah, closing stock is 30,000. 30,000. So that will become 30. 30. And that I'll write it in balance sheet. Then trade receivables. Number 9. Trade receivables. Trade receivables. Now chartered trade receivable means debtors. Trade receivable means debtors. How much? 48. 48. Trade receivable means debtors. Debtors is equal to 48. Correcta? Incorrecta? Correcta. Okay, done. Trade receivables now 48. Then cash and cash equivalent. Number 10. Cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent chartered. Chartered. That is cash and bank. That is cash at bank. Cash at bank is how much? 10 rupees. Cash at bank is how much? 10. Nani, nani. Na, 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 na. How much is cash and bank? 10. ₹10. This ₹10 will go here. Chartered, yes or no? Yes, sir. Thereafter, 11. Revenue. Operation. In that we have sales. Revenue from operation. In that we have sales. Sales is how much? 350. Sales is 350. Ooh. Sales is 350. Ding dong. Now, sales 350. Ekdam must presentation. Examiner should give us 1 mark extra. Why? Because of our presentation. So how much you talk now? Yeah, I'm sorry. If I don't talk, then also problem. If I talk, then also problem. Sales is how much? 350. Other income. 12. Other income. Other income. Other income. Other income. Other income. Other income. Other income में what do we have? Other income में chartered we have profit on sale of plant and machinery. Profit on sale of plant and machinery. Ding dong. Profit on sale of plant and machinery. 1 rupee. Only 1 rupee. समझो? Yes. No. Yes, sir. Now, so profit on sale is what? That will be transferred here. Uh, so 351. Changes in inventory. Changes in inventory 13. Changes in inventory. Inventory. Inventory means what? Stock. Changes in inventory means what? Opening stock minus closing stock. Changes in inventory means opening stock minus closing stock. Opening stock is how much? 10. And closing stock is how much? 30. Opening stock is 10. Let me see. Opening stock is 10. And closing stock is 30. Correct? So changes in inventory में opening stock 10 less closing stock 30 will give them what, my wonderful friends? Will give them negative 20. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So charted, this is changes in inventory. Changes in inventory, negative 20. Thereafter, finance cost. Oh my God. Number 14. Item ka we can ignore the notes. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Finance cost. So if you wanted to prepare with notes, this is the best way to prepare. Ideal. In exam, if you're running short of time, then they will give marks. Yes, yes. Venture interest, they will give marks because such a big question. If you prepare notes like this, then to life में tension. What tension? Oh, you understand me? Yes, true. 10. Ding dong. 10, 10, 10. It's a wonderful 10. Na 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 na. Now, 15. Depreciation and amortization. Now, charted depreciation and amortization. Now, depreciation and amortization, we have got depreciation on plant and machinery. Yes or no? Depreciation and amortization, we have got depreciation on plant and machinery. Yes or no? Yes, sir. How much? 38. 38. Depreciation and amortization. Depreciation on plant and machinery. 38. 38. Ding dong. Ding dong. 38 chapter. Correct? Yes, no, yes, sir. Now, chartered. Number 16. Number 16 is other expenses. Other expenses is how much? Other expenses maybe I've got factory expense. Factory expense is how much? Factory, oh my factory, 30 rupees. No, 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 no. After factory expenses started admin. So how do you know admin? And Swami, at the time of reading the problem, only we wrote no. See, factory, admin, and selling. Admin is how much? 15, selling 15. Admin 15, selling expense 15. Oh my god, what an accuracy! Last page, last line. How much? No, no, no. Yes or no? 60. Now, now we are supposed to calculate profit. That is 160 minus 20 is equal to 140 plus 10 plus 38 plus 60. 140 plus 10, 150, 188, 88. Okay. Of expenses A. This is A and this is B. Correct. Total of expenses will come to how much? 140, 150, 188, 248. Minus plus 351. So 103 is profit before tax. On that into 0.4, 40% is tax. 41.20 minus plus 103. 61.8 is your pattern. Correct? Yes, sir, no, sir. This 61.8 share capital was how much? 200. And reserves and surplus means 61.8. 36. 97.8 minus 9 is equal to 88.8 plus 70 plus 35. I know, but let me check. 193.8. 193.8. This is your reserves and surplus. Correct. Then provision for taxes 41.2. Provision for tax 41.20. plus 200 plus 100 plus 26 plus 10 plus 41.2. 571. Ding dong, 571. 440 plus 43 plus 30 plus 48 plus 10. 571 chartered. Correct? And we are done. This is your profit and loss account and balance sheet charted. If you wanted to solve the sum in examination by saving some time, because in class the time goes in two things. I kept on showing you this trial balance. This is too much of investment of time. Then plus explaining certain things, that is time. So around 20 minutes goes in explaining. Plus, I would have created all the notes possible. Correct? If you don't create notes for one item, then you would have created notes for which mandatory I would have told you. Mandatory notes would have been number one, share capital ka notes so you had to make. Reserves and surplus you had to make. Acha. Then PPE ka you had to make. Acha. And then other expenses ka you had to make. That's it. And at max you could have made of changes in stock. You would have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes only. If you would have made instead of 16, 5 notes only, the 11 notes ka minimum 2 minutes per note also if I say 20 minutes. So this sum can be cracked down in 20 to 25 minutes. Number one, no explanation. Number two, no going back in trial balance and showing you every item some 10 times. Are you understanding? And then excusing these notes. Now, but if I was there in place of you, I would have definitely done this question 2, 3 times to get a grip of it. Am I clear? Understood? So, charted, this is your notes to accounts. If you have missed any item, you can take a pick and check it later on. And then chartered, this is your notes, balance sheet and P&L. Am I clear? Thank you so much. I hope you're understanding and enjoying. I am enjoying very much. Thank you so much. All the best. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye bye. Take care. Party sharty. Bye bye. Bye, sir.